Okay, my name is Nicole Strobel, and I'm just going to jump into the assignment. So I started out by asking people what is psychology, and most people basically got the gist of it. They basically just explained to, their knowledge that psychology is the study of people's behavior or how people think. People were also saying that it's a science based on like how the brain works, which is sort of correct. I also asked what are some psychological principles that you know, and every single person that I asked this had to take a second and just like work through it in their brain and really try to understand like what the question meant here, and what it was asking. So people basically just kind of thought up different examples that they could conjure up. So people were explaining like people watching, or if you give someone something that they like, then they'll be happy, or the fact that people tend to generally be happier during Christmas time, which was a little funny to me. I also asked people how accurate are our memories, and pretty much everyone was explaining that our memories are not very accurate. If anything, like our feelings that we associate with events that happen in our lives are more accurate than the actual like events themselves. I also asked what percent of our brain do we actually use, and most everyone said 10%, except for two other people who guessed 50% and 100%. So at least not the entire world is being tricked into these different medias and different things that they suggest. But I also asked, is caffeine good or bad for you? And I got all sorts of different answers for this. So people were saying that it's good to an extent, it's bad for you, don't rely on it. And also people were saying that it's good as long as you have it for certain times of the month. I also asked, finally, the last two questions that are based on myths. So I asked, why does odd behavior tend to increase during a full moon? And again, all sorts of different answers for this. So a couple different people suggested that it's just because people tend to be superstitious, and yeah. So other people said that they didn't even know it was a thing. People were saying that it's because it's more light at night, or just because of hormones. But one person that kind of stood out to me was that he suggested that because of the pulse of the moon, your blood rises, and so it makes you like angrier. So that might suggest why people get angrier during a full moon. And lastly, I asked, why do opposites attract? And basically, everyone who answered this for me was saying that when it comes to opposites attracting each other, it's like the positive and a negative, or two parts becoming a whole. So what you're not is what you desire, just because like they're not what you are, so they become more appealing. So they kind of like complete each other in a sense, kind of like a puzzle piece or something. But yeah, that basically sums it up. Yeah, it was just kind of interesting to see people's answers and just kind of see how open they are with these kind of things, I guess. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to the psychology class and learning these things for myself. And yeah, thanks, Marcy.